Cool. I'm gonna finish off our time together. Um, so I want to try and get to a point where we're gonna have a bit of next action. So it's what Willem taught me. Every time we got out of a meeting and got out of a conference, we have our time that we have next actions put out, so that we can go from here and actually know how we need to move forward. So I want to spend this last like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see. Maybe I'm also allowed to go over time. Just to sort of do a study group together. It's what we're going to do from here on going forward. But before we get to I'm going to end off with the video, and then after that I'll say thank yous and everything. But before I want to do that, I want to everyone that did the core curriculum with me this year, will you stand up quickly, please? Yeah. So last year, well, up until February, there was no one in South Africa that did the core curriculum. Now jy's nou halfpad. So well, we've got one import and one export, so it's fine. So but it was absolutely God sent that we worked through the core curriculum this year, just to connect between us. This is also the group that I'm going to rely on going forward for us to being able to how, basically the way we're going to go forward, keeping momentum in how we want to go forward. So thank you for the effort you guys put in. We met every Monday afternoon. It was 21 weeks that we met. So it was pretty cool just to spend that time together, to learn from each other. Obviously we're climbing on the momentum of the Canadians at the moment, just from them gaining momentum out of the US side. So it's very special for us to do that. We don't have to go create our own momentum. And we had a good blueprint of how we must do it from here on going forward. So, of those guys standing up, or that stood up now. So the plan we have going forward, obviously, Advisor for the Nations got nothing to do with RIG. Although RIG is very bought into what we're trying to do, it's way beyond RIG. So I spoke to Kenneth and Johan and myself and Brian also had a conversation last night, and I spoke to Niels as well. So those are the four that I'm going to heavily rely on for us to take this forward. And basically, I think it probably like what is creating a committee, of which I'm now the leader. So I'll take that position on until they fire me. But the thing for me is it's an accountability thing for me to them, to meet with them quite regularly, so that we know what we want to do. It's not just me driving an agenda. It's us getting together, praying together, spending time together, finding out what it is that God wants us to do. Because this is a God movement, and it's very cool. Everyone said it this weekend. Although this weekend is very big for me, and the fact that there are so many people here that I know is going to grow with us, this is just the beginning. This is sort of where we've wanted to get at for the last 13 years. And this is where the momentum starts now. We're going into the promised land now. So it's now just time for everyone. If you want to get on board, it would be great. Like I said yesterday, most of you are actually vriendelijk verplig. I don't know what that is. Friendly obliged. I don't know. That's direct translation. So, but the idea is just from here, what I committed to, what I'm going to do now for the next, I think till end of December would be the idea. We're going to have monthly study groups, one that like we're going to work through now. I'm going to have one basically on a Monday afternoon at 4:00, a Friday morning at 8:00. So those are going to be 2 time slots that we're going to run. It will be one of us sort of facilitating it. And that's the idea that we want to do. That would be the first week of every month. So that's the idea. So running through a Kingdom Advisor study group together. Anyone welcome. We want to try and keep the way we do it we want to keep it uniform. So the idea is how we run it out, what we do, just to keep control of it and how it grows, the way it moves out. We don't want it to run, and we want to stick together because we want to keep each other accountable. We don't just want groups popping up everywhere, although it would be cool. But if there's no control and no sort of no leadership behind it, then I think it can become a very dangerous place to be in. We want to keep it very trustworthy. We want people to feel safe. We want people to feel valued in it. So the idea would be that people that would run a study group would be someone that's gone through the core curriculum. It's also something we want everyone to motivate everyone to do. So that would be the idea. So first week it would be a scenario where we have the study group, have a discussion time together. I want to create the 2 time slots. Some people prefer an afternoon, some people prefer a morning. We'll sort of manufacture it and see. Maybe it should be, instead of 8 o'clock, it should be 7 o'clock. But that's something we can test out for the next 3 months. Those are the time slots. The idea with then the third week of every month, I want to have the same time slots, Monday and a Friday. The idea with that time slot is not to go through a study group. The idea there is to either get some kind of guest speaker in. We can even, if there are a lot of new people that are involved, we can even show one of the videos that we did at the conference to get people excited for what we want to do next year. Or get someone, Lorne is very keen. It would be cool to get a Vincent. It would be keen even to get Wayne in maybe for a session or something. It's just to spread wisdom and just to create conversation time, to create an openness. The ideal would be that if there are groups, there are obviously a few guys from the Cape Town area. We have a few from PE. There's a few from Bloem, maybe Gauteng. So the idea would be that you sort of get together in person, sign into the Teams meeting, and then we sort of go from there. Then I'm going to have a conversation with Lorne Robinson that I want to, let me log in here quickly, then I'll show you just what we went through. So this is the Kingdom Advisor website. Here's the courses that we went through. So this is a whole bunch of different things that we can work through. So I'm a full member now, so a lot of it I have access to. So here's the core training. And then, the idea is it's 24 hours, but then you have your videos that you work through, different sessions, do a test, do your different sessions. And it's just a whole bunch of different topics. So a lot of time that we spent in here, I would say it's about an hour to an hour and a half a week that we work through videos. And then notes as was a curriculum that we worked through. And then it ended up with just our calling and advisor accountability, joining study groups and everything. But very, very, very valuable piece of a valuable course that we did. There's already conversations. Some people decided that they didn't listen well enough the first time, so they want to go do it a second time, but they just want to bring their wives on board now. But it's very cool. I think there was more introspection during this course than there was for me necessarily what I want to take out. So how am I going to facilitate this in my family, in my way of planning, the way I feel about finances, which was very, very cool, which is, I think, the most important thing. We first have to get our personal conviction of what we want to be and how we think about money before we can go and advise clients what they should think about money and teach them about that. So that's why the core curriculum is so valuable. That's why accountability is so valuable, which is quite important for me. So that would be the idea. And then I want to chat to Lorne that we can, in January, he can facilitate a new group for us again. And that would be then weekly, where we get together sessions. Some of the guys that have done it before will sort of come in some of those sessions. But the idea, it's a new group. So Petri and Herlo are already doing it. They don't know it yet, but they are going to do it. And it's something that's going to be part of our business. It's a commitment that we want to make, that anyone new that comes into our business, any advisor does, it's part of their training to be able to go through the core curriculum. It's a no-brainer to do it. The idea surrounding the costs, we are still, Matt is a big ambassador to help us to get lower costs. Vincent is also there putting pressure on, although we've got a few hard no's, we're still asking, which is quite cool. Their hearts, Kingdom Advisors' hearts are in it, but I do understand their defense in it as well, because they want to keep it very professional and they want to have proper speakers and recordings, and obviously there's a fee component. So at the moment we're allowed to get the Canadian price for it, which is $550 or Canadian dollars, 550 Canadian dollars, which then includes a year subscription to everything that they have on there, but that includes your core curriculum. So that's already a very, very good price. So it is something to maybe save for and look at, and but we're still hoping to get a rand-denominated price. That's a little bit more in our wheelhouse, close to what we'll pay to the FBI or annual membership. So just a little bit down to what we're doing. So we're continuously in conversation. I know Lorne, that you listened to yesterday, he actually spoke to the KA guys again on Tuesday. So it's really coming from a whole bunch of different angles. Us trying to get a fee sort of facilitated for everyone, yeah, and but honestly, any price paid for the time that we spent here, definitely worth it. So, yeah, so that's the idea for me going forward. I think I want us to create the advisor for the nations group. So, if you know of somebody that wants to join, please make sure that they sign up. He's going to create a link. We're going to advertise on Facebook, trying to create a database of people that have joined Advisor for the Nations. One day when we more go into the Kingdom Advisor space, then we'll be signed up for Kingdom Advisor. A lot simpler. A lot of the study groups, and there is some of the material that's actually for free, that you don't have to sign up as a member. You can sign up with your email. You can get access to some of the study groups. You just the sort of the library part you can't always get access to. So important to know that there's a lot of work that you can be working with Ron Blue Institute as well. There's also a lot of material that we can get access to, but it's stuff that we'll do sort of. It would be week 1 Kingdom Advisor, week 3 would be something else. So either something out of Ron Blue Institute, Journey of Generosity sort of conversations that we would want to start facilitating and creating a space for, getting guys from outside to come speak. Sometimes it's just going to be an hour session that we just want to spend time, and if people have questions, and sort of just keeping each other accountable, maybe a client situation that we struggled with, or something that we just want some advice for. That's the idea about the group, is for us to help each other, to be there for each other. But the idea would be that just the way we're going to manage it and how it will look going forward will be a conversation between myself, Kenneth, Johan, Brian, and then Neil. So that would be the idea. So any suggestions that you do have, she's sort of the contact. Well, she's 100% the contact person for anything. So send an email to her if you have a suggestion, if you have a question. How can we roll it out? What can it look like? Maybe there's a time slot that you maybe want to have different from the 2 time slots that we put out, and you wanted to facilitate. So ek dink julle in Frankfurt, as julle 'n sessie buite daai tye wil hê, dan just chat to us and we make something happen. We make something work. I don't want people to feel isolated and feel like they have to go at this their own. We want to be a group that we support each other, because that's how we're going to gain momentum. One person going into a direction by themselves, not going to help. We need to remain united. We need to do it in the same manner that if people join a Kingdom Advisor or an Advisor for the Nations group in Cape Town, PE, East London, Durban, wherever, it should be exactly the same. It should be a uniform idea where we spend time together and people can trust that what they hear there is a situation that this is what we feel comfortable and we feel supported. So cool. I just quickly want to find out before we go into the video, does anyone have a question? Okay, let me go. So it's not the last. We actually worked through the latest one, this Great Financial Paradox, now last week as part of our study group, but we have not worked through the August one. So God's Gracious Hand on Us by Jim Wise. So this is how the groups would work. We'd sort of get together. It would be a meeting, say hi, how you doing, and then we'd watch the video together. It's usually about a half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour. This one's a little bit longer, but we'll work through it. It's going to be the last thing that we do today. There's also always a PDF document, a listening guide, that we'll send out to the groups. I'll put it on the WhatsApp group now when I go there to the back. But let me see. There's the listening guide, and it basically just follows what's happening in the session, and you can make notes, and there's nice discussion questions at the end that you can sort of work through in the group. This is why it's so important for me to have Kingdom Advisor as a partner. There's material available that, although we're all busy at this stage and you all have jobs and everything, we don't have to go write something. We don't have to record something. That it's already there, and it's very, very valuable. And it's most of it. There's sometimes it would be a case of it's sort of not being for South African advisors, but but I think 95% of the time it's just principles which any one of us can use. So we're going to listen through the video. I'll send the study group material, I'll put it on the group, and you can work through it like there. And then that's typically just how we would work through it and just chat through it, and then ask questions afterwards. And